Welcome back, everyone, to Pontus Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 11, Episode 6 of Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon. We are playing through the Chapter 13 quest for the Last Haven. In this quest, we've got to find or help create at least two places that are safe from the weirdness. So we've just had the encounter with the Selkie. We got the Selkie on the board here. Maybe do the thumbnail for Selkie. And we were able to defeat it, get some points, but we're still in the derelict fleet. We're going to do our last tour of the derelict fleet. Again, the derelict fleet was left behind by Arthur in his original journeys through the weirdness. And we're about to pick up from where we let off. We've got Bayor and Maggot on the board here. They're both just recovering from that scour. So we're going to scour the wrecks kind of concept. So we will go through Swim to the Tree, verse number 5. But first, Pontus Fathom Hobbies is sponsored by the books that we produce. We've got a publishing channel, Pontus Fathom Press, where we are producing the Pontus Fathom podcast series, touching on lots of pulp fiction, sci-fi, and fantasy. Our most recent offering is the Esoteric Dragon Mysteries, decoding the dragon symbol in myth and occult traditions, particularly for Tainted Grail. We've got the Dragon in the Grail, Holy Grail, Bloodline, Pendragons, and the works of Lawrence Gardner. We've also got the Dragon and the Cross, Alchemical Dragon in Tolkien and George R. Martin, and Tiamat, Mother of Dragons, Saturn and the Dragon, and Dragon and the Cross. So this is a great one if you're interested in Arthurian. If you're a Lovecraft fan, we've got the Katu Journals out of Lovecraft's Providence, 6 volumes, August Molderhauer, Giuseppe Balsamo, featuring Hermeticism of Hastur, Genealogy of Cthulhu, and the Necromancy of Nyarlathotep. We've actually got those collected in a giant omnibus hardcover edition grimoire. If you're a fan of Lovecraft and you want to dig deep into some alternate history and the possibility that Lovecraft is tapped into something real, go check out this. Next up, we've got the Alchemy and Anthroposophy in the Dune Saga, hardcover edition. This is really a send-up to why Frank Herbert's Dune Saga is so popular. We get into Jungian alchemy, we get into anthroposophical themes, and even Herbert's influences of Samuel Butler in his creation of the Bene Gesserit and the Bene Tleilax. Also in this age of upcoming artificial intelligence, we've got Artificial Psychoanalysis of Desiring Machines. This deep dives into the rise of artificial general intelligence, looks at things like AI's formation, but also the human aspect of this. Are we becoming more cybernetic as we move forward? And then finally, our Killingworth Bogman saga. We've got the Lost Carcosa and the Yellow Sign, and the Quantum Locksman saga with Dead Sons 11 and Locksman of Quanta. Go check out our books. You can check out our Patreon as well. We've got a number of samples to these. We do some reviews on these if you want to go check it out. Helps us support the channel. You can always go check out our Patreon where you can stay across all of our A Song of Ice and Fire gameplay, our miniature painting for Tainted Grail, A Song of Ice and Fire, Joan of Arc, and tons and tons of videos. You go out to our webpage and you can see all of our videos cataloged for all the gameplay. So thanks a lot. Your subscriptions and comments below are well appreciated. Let's get back to the gameplay. Okay, so let's go to the Swim to the Tree, verse 5 from the Derelict Fleet. Verse number 5 says, if you have secret card 78 and don't have part 3 of the Last Haven, go to verse 8. So do we have part 3 of Last Haven? We don't have part 3 of the Last Haven. Do we have secret card 78? What is secret card 78? Is that the Grail? Or is it Excalibur? I think it's Excalibur, actually. Let's see. 78. Yes, it's Excalibur. So if we have secret card and we don't have that, we'll go to verse 8. Okay, so we're going to go to verse 8. A long swim against the tide takes you to one of the roots protruding from the sea. You stand upon its slippery surface, catch your breath, then draw Excalibur. The pain of the spiked hilt digging into your flesh is only made worse by the sea salt. The hard surface of the dome shimmers in front of your face. You strike, focusing your pain and anger into a singular blow. The dome parts, then disappears, unmade by the only thing capable of making it. The anchorage is now accessible, along with the pristine ships in the harbor. Their rigging and the hulls untouched by time. Okay, so the anchorage is now accessible along with the pristine ships it harbors. So we have access to the ships. Now, to gain part 3 of Last Haven. Let's go ahead and do that. Last Haven, part 3. So we are chipping away at Last Haven here, per the title of this season. And we gain each character gains 2 experience points. 2 experience. Exploration ends. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Now, where should we be going next? I guess is the question for us. So we've got Last Haven. 2 of the Last Haven. So let's see. If we check on our quest card, it says, if you have Secret Card 78, resolve the Chapter 13 Part 2 card. So we have at least 2 parts of the status. 611. Let's see what they have. Book of Secrets. They say we may go to 611 if we complete that. Okay, so it says, okay, great. So it says we can go to 611 at any time, or we can complete part 2. So maybe we should complete part 2. Let's go take a look at part 2 of chapter 13, part 2. Does it have anything more to say? Unexpected meeting. Shortly after the break of dawn, you notice a giant silhouette forming in the morning mist. Taking it for one of the reclaimers, you draw your weapons. The figure approaches. Suddenly, you feel your knees trembling. It is Arthur, once and future king, with his armor twisted by weirdness and his body covered in wounds. He slowly raises a hand in greeting. Without a moment's hesitation, you kneel and present him the hilt of his sword. He gazes at the legendary blade and shakes his head. Then he continues on his way and disappears into the northeast. You have a feeling he won't be needing the blade where he's going. Discover the ultimate fate of Arthur. The secret is not required to complete your campaign. Okay, so this is a new kind of quest card that we have here. The Secret of Arthur. So we've actually encountered Arthur himself as he goes back out into the mist. So that's pretty insane. Let's go ahead then and we will close out Chapter 13, Part 2. We'll close out Chapter 13. It says, since you have at least 2 parts of the required status, success, you may finish the chapter and go to verse 611 in the Book of Secrets at any time. So the idea here is we've actually gone through at the Plagued Burrow, the first farmhold, and now the Derelict Fleet, and we've basically protected these areas from the weirdness, I kind of guess is what they're alluding to. And so now we've completed our Last Haven. We've got actually 3 Last Haven statuses. So now we're going to read this 611. It says, you did what you could, searching the island high and low. Now it's time to put your new knowledge to use. Congratulations, you've completed your current chapter. Discard all event cards, including active quests. So we'll take our event cards out. Save your game or draw chapter 14 setup card and follow the instructions to begin the next chapter. So let's just take a quick look at our chapter 14, part 1. So chapter 14. So we still have this kind of active discover the ultimate fate of Arthur. So we can kind of use that. Place this card in the active quest. So now we're going to chapter 14. You know there are places that are safe from the coming storm. However, there aren't enough of them to shelter everyone, and you have so little time left. Quest. Lead at least one of Avalon's communities to safety. Gather at least one part of the Remnants status. So we need to gain Remnants status. We do have one part left, but let's try to gain an additional one. And that's something that we can take care of in the next round. So we'll see you in the next round. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.